Today's episode of Off the Timeline is titled How Texas Broke the Pac-12, an alternate college football timeline. What if I told you the Pac-12 didn't collapse because of incompetence, but because it won too much? What if Texas didn't just save the Pac-12, but slowly made everyone else resent them? And what if the biggest mistake wasn't realignment, but who the league chose to orbit around? This is the alternate timeline where Texas goes west, Oklahoma follows late, the SEC and Pac-12 enter a Cold War, and college football quietly breaks away. Now for the setup. Our timeline starts earlier than you think. Back in the late 1990s, Texas Tech fumbled its future with a disastrous coaching hire. Years of instability followed. The air raid arrived late. Mike Leach still clashes with boosters. And by the time Texas Tech finally stabilized, the Big 12 had finally cracked. By 2010, Texas Tech fires first, leaving the Big 12 for the Pac-10. That move changes everything because once the Pac sees Texas television markets work, they realize they don't need just Tech, they need Texas. Act 1, Texas goes west. In this universe, Texas doesn't flirt with independence forever. They look west, and the Pac-12 says yes. Texas folds the Longhorn Network into the Pac-12 network. Suddenly, the Pac-12 isn't a late-night league anymore. It's national. It's loud. It's rich. Texas wins immediately. Recruits pour in from California and Texas alike. Playoff appearances follow, and at first, everyone loves it because the Pac-12 is finally relevant again. Act 2, Oklahoma's late flip. Then comes the move no one expected. Oklahoma watches Texas dominate the Western footprint. They watch the Big 12 shrink. They watch playoff politics tilt. And in 2018, Oklahoma goes west too, not to the SEC, to the Pac-12. Now the conference isn't just big, it's stacked. Texas, Oklahoma, West Coast brands, massive recruiting pipelines. The Pac-12 becomes a super conference before anyone uses the term. But power always creates tension. Act 3, the playoff era. By 2016, the playoff era collides with this new Pac-12. Texas makes the college football playoff again, and again, and again. The Pac-12 finally has some playoff credibility. But notice something. Every Pac-12 success is framed as Texas success. TV promos center on Austin. NIL headlines revolve around Texas deals. Recruiting conversations orbit Texas brands. Other schools don't just lose games, they lose oxygen, and resentment begins to form, quietly. Act 4, NIL goes nuclear. Then NIL hits, and the Pac-12 and SEC build two completely different systems. The Pac-12 sells lifestyle, equity, branding, and markets. The SEC sells certainty, collectives, and cash. Texas dominates the Pac-12 NIL ecosystem. Oklahoma keeps pace. Mid-tier Pac-12 schools, they get priced out. The league is winning, but only at the top. Act 5, Scheduling Alliance. So the Pac-12 and SEC try something bold, a scheduling alliance. Big games, big ratings, and big leverage. On paper, it's perfect. In reality, the SEC wins the early matchups. The media frames it as proof. Pac-12 teams absorb the travel cost. Texas drops a couple of alliance games. And suddenly, the alliance feels less like a partnership and more like a spotlight. By 2023, it quietly falls apart. The trust is gone. Act 6, Texas fatigue. This is where the story turns inward. Texas keeps winning. Texas keeps making the playoff. Texas keeps being the brand. But Pac-12 administrators start asking dangerous questions. Why does every playoff argument revolve around Texas? Why does revenue follow Texas matchups? Why does national relevance mean burnt orange? No one wants Texas gone. They just don't want Texas first anymore, and that's worse. Act 7, the Cold War. By 2024, the SEC doesn't even need to attack. They wait. They watch the Pac-12 NIL inflation. They watch internal Pac-12 politics fracture. They watch Texas fatigue spread. The SEC remains stable, deep, confident. The Pac-12 stays powerful, but uneasy. No collapse, just stress fractures. And that's how this universe ends. Not with scandal, not with lawsuits, not with collapse, but with exhaustion. Texas saved the Pac-12. Texas elevated the Pac-12. Texas made the Pac-12 matter again. And in doing so, Texas became too big to love. College football didn't break loudly. It broke quietly. If you want the next chapter, expanded playoffs gone wrong, Texas backlash turning into rebellion, or the moment the SEC finally strikes, hit subscribe. Because in this universe, the sport never really heals.